These are some questions or guide questions para sa part 1 hanggang part 3 ng feasibility. So, kailangan ninyong masagot yung bawat isang tanong dito. So, this is the first part which is about introduction and its background. So, yung pinakaunang tanong dito, ito yung reason bakit mo ginawa yung produkto ninyo or serbisyo is ano yung specific community problem na mabibigyan ng solution ng produkto, yung proposed product ninyo or service. Solution. So, isipin niyo yung plastic straw. So, may mga news, may mga evidences na nadadigest to ng mga ocean animals. Okay? So, ang solution globally is to use organic straw. Okay? Very specific siya. So, dito, i-describe ninyo sino yung apektado, ibig sabihin, ano yung problema, saan ito nangyayari, gaano kalaki or ka-urgent yung need para mabigyan ito ng solution. So, yun yung sagot nyo dito. Okay? Next question is, ano yung nature ng produkto or service ninyo? Is this an agricultural product, industrial product, or a social entrepreneurship? Okay? And anything else, you describe ano yung nature ng product ninyo. Okay? For example, you are a social enterprise, tapos ang product ninyo is something from water hyacinth. So, yung pag-develop ninyo ng mga byproducts ng water hyacinth, it reduces yung presence nito sa mga waterways and it create livelihoods. So, yung nature ng product ninyo o yung services ninyo is a social enterprise that manufactures agri-based products. Yun yung best example dito. Dito sa third question, it is about sectors na involved dun sa proposed business ninyo. Pwede siyang yung direct at indirect stakeholders. For example, if ang product ninyo is a water hyacinth, so, sino kaya ang pwedeng maging direct stakeholders? So, it can be the employees. Sino ang employees dito? Fisher folks. Kasi sila yung nasa bangka and they will collect those water hyacinth. Tapos, sino ang magde-develop nito into a byproducts? Pwede naman mag-hire kayo ng all-women's group para sila yung magka-craft nito. And then, sino ang indirect stakeholders? Ito yung mga local buyers or yung local government unit na environmental office. So, maraming sector ang involved. Just identify sino-sino sila. Yung direct and indirect stakeholders ninyo. So, next question is, ano yung pinagkaiba ng produkto or serbisyo ninyo from existing ones? So, balik tayo dun sa example natin about the organic straw. So, marami ng klaseng mga organic straw. May paper straw, may pasta na straw. Ano ang magiging pinagkaiba nyo? Anong klaseng straw yung gagawin niyo? Galing ba to sa water hyacinth straw or something else? So, this is all about your unique value proposition. Kasi, you differentiate your product dun sa existing line ng same functionality. So, yung same functionality, organic straw, pero iba't ibang klase sila ng materials. So, differentiate your product from the existing one. And then, lastly, ano yung gaps na mabibigyan nito ng feel? Diba? Yung solution ninyo, ano yung gaps na nakita ninyo, pwede akong pumasok dito. So, name the service gaps. Like, for example, yung durability. So, paper straw, madaling matunaw in 5 to 10 minutes. Yung pasta straw, ganyan, magastos ba siya sa harina? So, you check. Ano yung gaps niya? So, gusto nyo ba ng affordable and then can easily be produced or reproduced? Pwede nyo sabihin yun. So, pumapasok kayo in between sa madaling matunaw and then dun sa resources kung saan kalaban nyo pa yung mga bread, yung flour, diba? Okay. Pasok kayo sa gitna. Anong materials ito? That's the gap. The second part is about socio-economic aspect. So, dito, yung first subtopic here is about community engagement. So, ano yung existing na community development plans na pwede kayong mag-align? Yung product niyo or yung proposed service niyo or proposed business, ganyan. So, for example, solid waste management o kaya livelihood program or tourism program, pwede kayong mag-align doon. So, ano to? Anong existing community development ito? Bakit siya mahalaga? Kasi, mas madaling makakuha ng approval or ng partnership sa iba't ibang institution. So, for example nito, yung yung product ninyo, water hyacinth ulit tayo ngayon. So, it reduces yung organic logging dun sa waterways kasi you collect water hyacinth, diba? Kaya, meron kayong pwedeng alignment sa community development plans ng LGU ninyo, as well as yung kanilang livelihood agenda for certain families. Halimbawa, nakatira sa floodway or malapit sa floodway na maraming water hyacinth. So, nakapag-offer para livelihood. Ganyan. Next question is, which local organization, cooperatives, or groups pwede kayong mag-collaborate? So, identify ninyo if pwede ba kayong makipag-collaborate sa mga local cooperatives, livelihood cooperatives, credit cooperatives, pwede ba sa schools, LGUs, yan. Kasi, mas maraming participants, better. Kasi, bumubuo kayo ng community engagement. Ganyan. Then, paano makaka-contribute yung project ninyo sa welfare or development ng community? So, explain nyo. For example, livelihood ng mga housewife na nalipasan na ng opportunity. Ganyan. So, nakakatulong kayo dun sa community development ng mga napag-iwanan na ng opportunity to work sa office or even dun sa mga other employment. Mahalaga to kasi it provides opportunities. Isipin natin ulit yung water hyacinth, diba? Yung mga nasa waterways. Ganyan. So, kapag nakatira kayo doon, nakatira yung mga stakeholders nyo malapit sa waterways, you may give them livelihood kasi nga, napag-iwanan na sila ng panahon to compete. So, yun. So, your project contributed dun sa development ng community. So, isip kayo, paano kayo makakontribute to certain community? Still, under socio-economic aspect, we have here yung business aspect. So, yung unang question dito is, in what ways will your business improve yung lives of people dun sa identified sector ninyo. Kanina, di ba, you need to identify yung sector, like sino yung indirect at direct stakeholders ninyo. So, paano nyo sila matutulungan to improve their lives? Also, syempre, kumikita kayo. So, explain here, like, meron ba sila income stability? Regular employee ba sila? Commission-based ba sila? Safe ba yung work nila? Saan sila nagtatrabaho? Yung ganyan. Malapit lang ba sa bahay nila? Is it a work from home setup? So, explain kung paano ninyo na-i-improve yung buhay ng mga tao na in-identify ninyo dun sa sector na gusto ninyong i-improve yung life. Like, isipin ninyo, Fisher Folks, Women's Group, o yung mga out-of-school youth, ganyan. Next is, how does your business promote inclusivity, sustainability, or social equity? So, inclusivity. So, alam niyo naman dito, ibig sabihin na inclusive for everyone. So, are you going to hire yung mga may kapansanan, like naka-wheelchair or may speech defect, yung ganyan. So, tell us, ano yung inclusivity program ninyo dito sa proposed business ninyo, proposed product, or proposed service. And then, lastly is, what measurable impact? For example, ano yung jobs created, income growth, does it reduce waste? Okay? Yung pwedeng ma-expect sa business ninyo. Halimbawa, is yung straw. So, yung organic straw, ano yung measurable impact nito? Can you measure how many animals na yung hindi nakaka-digest ng plastic straw? So, mahirap siyang i-measure. Pero, mami-measure nyo to if maraming bumibili sa inyo ng organic straw nyo. Yun yung income growth. Okay? So, measure something na kaya ninyo. Yung something feasible. So, I can measure yung growth ng organic straw by monitoring, does my sales grow? Nag-expand ba ang business? Yung ganyan. Gumanda ba buhay ng mga tauhan ko? Kasi maganda yung sales. So, yun. Measure something. This is part 3, which is about organizational management. So, unang subtopic is about form ng business organization. What type of business organization yung i-adapt ninyo? Is it sole proprietorship, partnership, cooperative, or cooperation? At bakit? And then, ano yung magiging business name ninyo? Ano yung logo, mission, vision, at ano yung core values? Then, for the second subtopic, we have organizational structure. Ano yung tsura ng organizational chart ninyo? So, make this something na makatotohanan. Like, meron kayong general manager, may production manager kayo, may sales and marketing, finance and admin, pwede rin may community liaison. Make it something realistic talaga na it is a business entity talaga. Pwede rin siya magbase dun sa napili ninyong business type. Okay? And then we have here, ano yung mga roles and responsibility ng mga key position sa business ninyo. So, explain niyo yung bawat key position. So, meron kayong organizational chart na identify na ninyo kung sino yung ano yung mga title ng org chart ninyo, sino yung participants doon. Then, ngayon naman is specify ninyo ano yung roles and responsibilities nila. Then, the third one is about business operations. So, what are your day-to-day business processes? So, for example, kailan yung sourcing or collection ninyo ng materials? Kailan yung pre-processing? Kailan ang production? Kailan yung packaging and labeling? Kailan ang marketing and sales? Distribution and after sales. Okay? So, ito yung day-to-day business processes. So, maganda siguro dito is you create a flowchart. Flowchart with overview. So, halimbawa, sourcing and collection. Does it involve kapag ba sila nagkolekta, sila na rin ba maglilinis or may ibang team ang maglilinis ng raw materials? Ganyan. Tapos, estimate ninyo. So, sa sourcing, isang araw ito, and then yung pre-processing, how many minutes ito? Yung ganyan. Like, 30 minutes? Ganyan. Tapos, ipapadala nyo na to sa something na magde-design. So, visualize your process here. Yung day-to-day operation. Mas maganda nga flowchart ito. Next is, ano yung business hours ninyo? So, you need to explain here, anong oras yung production ninyo? Kasi this is about manufacturing kapag ganun. How many hours yung total everyday ng manufacturing? And then, kapag office-based naman, ganun din. How many hours sa office? Tapos, maganda rin, ipakita nyo dito if do you work on weekends or not. Yung ganyan. Tapos, halimbawa, production time niyo it's 8 to 5 p.m. Anong oras naman yung dispatch para ibigay dun sa retailers? Ganyan. Siyempre, hindi nyo lang naman siya ititinda sa isang location, di ba? So, sino yung mga retailers ng product ninyo? Explain that here. And then, paano ninyo na-determine yung salaries, wages, and benefits? So, explain ninyo, saan ba located? Are you using NCR rate or provincial rate? Tapos, you need to decide yung pay type. So, regular employees ba sila? It's minimum wage ba or above minimum wage? Definitely, bawal ang below minimum wage. Mapapasara kayo dun. Tapos, ano yung mga mandatory benefits? Yan yung government mandatory benefits. Then, now, nandito na tayo sa business legal requirements. Ano yung mga permits, licenses, and registrations na required for you to operate your business? For example, if you are a single proprietorship, you need DTI. Kapag partnership and corporation, SEC. Pag cooperatives, cooperative development. Diba? Yung licensing ninyo. Then, you need BIR, barangay permit, and municipal permit. Kasi, syempre, if it is a product, you are a manufacturer, so you need municipal permit, hindi lang barangay permit. Ganyan. So, identify this. And then, paano kayo mag-comply sa mga mandatory benefits katulad ng PhilHealth, SSS, and Pag-ibig. Okay? And check nyo, lahat. Check nyo if food kayo. If food yung product ninyo, you need FDA approval. Ganyan. So, if meron kayong discharge ng mga waste, you need DENR approval. If you are a restaurant, malapit ba kayo sa waterways? So, ano yung mga permit na may kinalaman or required dun sa business ninyo?